so Insidious, The Last Key. It's technically Insidious 2 because Insidious 3 was Insidious 1. So it goes Insidious 3, Insidious 4, Insidious 1, Insidious 2. I'm gay.
Oh Lord, I've gone cross-eyed. Yeah, look guys, Insidious 4, it is what it be. I mean, it's not like the most amazing horror movie of all time. Is there jump scares? Yeah. Did a little pee come out? Absolutely. But was I absolutely terrified and thinking about it later on? Fuck no. But was Lynn Shay in this movie? She was Shay great. I liked Lynn Shay. You know what? I like the character that she plays in this. I thought that I always liked her the best. I think that she's cool. I think that through her eyes, the way that you experience the Further, which is basically a drunken night at any karaoke bar that you might be around, is also really is done well. I think they've done her justice in every movie they've done. The problem with this movie is, other than there are some cool jump scares, there's some cool moments. The plot is decent. I like the backstory they give you about Lynn Shay's character and where she comes from and why she is what she is and how many times she drank Tamari.
I'll make it do what it do, baby.
It's going to happen. The problem is sometimes it unravels, because even though the thriller suspense part is there and it ratchets up parts, and I think that sometimes, I don't know what it is, man. Like I think towards the end I just get more of a Lifetime vibe or something, or like a recreation of events that actually took place. Like those shitty shows on like TLC.
Yeah.
Like this actually took place, and then it's like it shows like, hey, what's over there? Don't go behind that door, because you'll be fucked. like it's not that bad of acting, but it just feels like a recreation or something. Like, I don't know, it's soft.
To put
soft.
everything you said into a terrible analogy, it's like sometimes you look down and you're like, I've got these comfortable granny panties on. They're not sexy,
no.
They're nothing risque, they're nothing special.
After Tuesday.
They're comfortable, and then all of a sudden, you rip them off and there's a thong under.
You went to Dillard's. But yeah,
Dyers.
That's exactly right. And I also was going to say, it's kind of like that thing. Also, a good point about this. It's like you could walk out of the theater and be like, man, I wasn't even scared, but I was a little bit. And as you're walking in front of your friend, you have a little shit stain in the back of your pants. It's like you pooped your pants a little bit. but they thought but overall you weren't scared, but the jump scares were like all about it. And they focused a lot on jump scares, and I hate that shit. I fucking hate it. I don't like that shit, because sometimes I think
she does.
You fucking bitch whore.
That's a nice shirt. Did they make it for men?
They do sometimes. I got it from your mom. She dressed me this morning. Anyhow, look, I'm just saying that I like jump scares. I like a good jump scare when it's appropriate for the movie and it makes sense. But sometimes I think that directors and writers get off on the fact that, hey, I don't have a good goddamn story, so I'm just gonna put that shit in there because I don't know what to do. And I think sometimes they're a victim of this.
I don't think they did that in this movie.
Yeah,
like what?
We'll fight about it. Let's fight outside.
No, in all honesty, like
with no camera.
So Insidious 3, I think, was the worst film of the franchise, right? But it wasn't that bad. It was just like a decent movie that just didn't really matter that much. It was okay, but it just didn't really matter. This is different though. Like this. For a casual fan or someone who's going to the theater on a Friday night and they want to be scared and they want to see that new fucking scary movie that everybody's going to be talking about, they're going to be disappointed because it really doesn't truly frighten you or anything like that. No. There's some really good scary imagery. There's like you said, jump scares that get you a couple times really good. But none of it really matters or means anything. So nobody's going to be talking about, oh my god, how scary is this movie? So that group's going to be disappointed. But I like this movie a lot.
Yeah, it's a fun movie. It's a fun movie.
The reason I like it a lot is because it's for one, it's the fourth movie in a franchise. With that comes, for horror fans who are into the Insidious franchise, there's a lot of backstory. There's a whole lot of backstory.
Stop it, you fucking cow!
Fuck. There's a lot of backstory, and there's a lot of they go really deep into some shit. And when they talk about Lynn Shay being the full frontal of this movie. Mm-hmm.
She didn't get naked.
I know. when they talk about her leading this movie, she really does, and her acting is amazing. But they really dig deep into her backstory, and there's this backstory that involves like abuse and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's fucked up.
And it's hard to watch at times because they show her childhood and what she went through.
That little girl actress was good.
Yeah,
I believe that shit.
There's a really serious element underlying the movie, and they go deeply into her backstory and explain a lot about her, and there's a lot of layers to the movie. The movie goes through a lot of different paces.
It's like an onion.
Yeah, it reminds me of one of those movies in the 80s or the 90s that like really tried to do a lot. Like it's more ambitious than anyone's going to give it credit for, because there's jump scares and they have to add those jump scares in there for, like I said, the people who just want that scary Friday night movie. But for fans of the franchise, I think they're really going to like this movie. I think it's that movie that's a little bit jumbled up. The story gets a little bit confusing, and then all of a sudden you go, oh, that's what's happening.
The one thing I also will say is that, yeah, I agree with that overall the atmosphere was good. I mean, the atmosphere in it was really good. It was solid. It was an Insidious movie. The problem with what I have with these kind of movies is that when you... The main focus is the ghosts. It's the images, what you're going to see on screen. These further creatures that come out of the night, and you only see them in shadow, and then they come out every once in a while that get you. That's
basically girls Jay takes home from the bar.
Those are fucking scary. They look like cheetahs. But other than that, what this movie fails to do is that when you showcase too much of the bad guy, like they did this in Insidious 1, which I thought Insidious 1 had an amazing story. I really enjoyed the story, but overall, like towards the end, I got less and less scared because they were showing more and more of the monster. You got fucking Darth Maul with his double-bladed lightsaber, and he listens to him, hello my darling, hello my baby. Like, I was like, okay, well, he's just a lonely guy that listens to weird fucking shit from the 20s. They do the same kind of thing in this movie. When you show more of the monster, even though in your mind you want to see more of the monster, I think that kind of takes away because then you get familiarized with it and it's not as scary. If you keep them kind of, it's the Michael Myers syndrome.
What you're talking about there also goes into what I was saying, because like there's, and I keep making this yin and yang.
Kroger cut.
Yeah.
The Kroger cut.
But there's the person, who's going to go see this for, like, I just want to see something scary, and the person who's really into the franchise. And the moments that you're talking about where they show the monster too much, it's like that 80s, 90s movie where we're getting into the fourth movie territory, and things are getting a little bit cheesy. Like, there's one point where there's, like, a lantern pushed against someone, and then they get blown back into the space. Like, there's that, almost Nightmare on Elm Street 3 Dream Warriors, there's a cheese factor that comes in, and the people who are there for a scare are going to be disappointed. But the people who are interested in the franchise and can look past that are really interested in all the layers they're dropping on you right now. And for me, I was. That's why I give the movie a surprising high 7 points, a strong 7.5.
Well, I mean, that's crazy. That's the high. I was going to give it 7.5, but I'm talking about all the negatives, but that's what I'm going to... I think it's a 7.5 for me.
I said it first.
I don't care, because, sometimes the second's the best. I will say, because Luigi fucking was... He fucking was a man. Anyway, look, I will say it's like this. I guess the best thing I can say is that if you're carrying a bucket of water across, and it's like you gotta get to that fucking finish line without dropping a goddamn drop, and you're like, fuck yeah, I can do this because I'm good at holding my water. And you're running across, and then right before the end, you start, and then you dump the bitch. I think they kind of stumble at the end, and that's my main focus is like the end, towards the end especially, because there are parts that we were laughing because they were showing this monster, and like he was going, yeah, and he's like, gingivitis is the #1 cause of tooth decay, and I don't know if they were going, they were showing him too much, they were showing the demon too much, and I think by doing so, it takes away a bit from the movie.
I'm gonna get internet punched in the dick for this a little bit, but I kind of felt like those scenes that we're talking about, where we're fully into the further and we're showing a lot at once, and there's like, it's just crazy shit happening, like sort of cheesy. They're showing it a little too much. There's a lot happening, but a lot of things are actually happening. I kind of got a people under the stairs vibe.
It does kind of feel like that. It's not a bad thing. Like the cheese factor is fine if you're not presenting the movie to be a serious horror movie, and they were. I mean, in a way, they were trying to make it like the reestablishment. I think in the Insidious franchise. It's not that I don't want to see more of the further, and I do like that. I think that's cool. I want to explore that area, but I don't think that it's a good idea. Like, if you do, like, a thriller-esque, suspenseful kind of ghost every once in a while coming out of the wall, and you just see parts of them or something like that, or hear a distant scream, and then maybe see, oh, fuck, there's an eyeball, I don't know. Rather than go and have full frontal people walking around like, hey, I'm in this place, what are you doing here? I don't know, I have a lamp. Like, that's kind of like, at that point, like, is this Universal Studio Hollywood? Like, other than that, Lin Shaye's acting is amazing.
She was fantastic.
To be honest, everybody's acting was great. I didn't have a problem with any single actor or actress in this movie. Even the newcomers, I thought they did a good, solid job. And there's even one part in the movie that goes on that it kind of transforms itself rather than being a supernatural horror. It goes into regular standard horror, and you're like, what the fuck? Just happened.
It goes up and down with that shit.
Hibachi, and now it's raw on the side. And I was impressed with that.
That's what I mean by it adds so much lore to the franchise, because there's so much shit. Like, there's so many layers to this movie. Like, sometimes it's like, oh, you're doing too much, and then I go, I get why you did that. That's kind of cool. It's jumbled, and it's a lot to take in.
It's a jambalaya.
Yeah,
with the Cajun sauce,
gumbo,
that just
slack jump. fuckers.
Ooh.
I thought you were going to get me. I thought you were going to get me. But you didn't get me.
Bunch of slack-jaw fuckers around here. This shit'll put hair on your chest.
But no, I liked it for its cheese. I liked everything about the movie. And the only thing I did not like, what pissed me off about this movie is when there was a jump scare. I got the feeling like sometimes in these movies, when the thing, whatever it is, pops out, like, what's it gonna do?
The demon.
Things kept popping out, and there kept being jump scares, and they were monsters or ghosts or whatever. But like, what did they do? They would literally pop out, just go boom, and then they go away.
Yeah,
do something.
That's why I don't like the jump scares, because they would be in the shadow, like playing like fucking flashlight tag, and they go, and then they go,
or they grab someone by the neck, and then that person would pass out, and then it's over.
Like, let me ask you a question.
Do something.
If you're a ghost, like maybe, I mean, you could say if you're a tortured spirit, and this is the only way you communicate is through a violent act. What the fuck ever. Like, if I was a tortured spirit in the further, and I wanted to get my bones out of a fucking certain area to be put at rest, I'm not gonna grab some bitch by the throat and be like, Saber! I'm gonna go, oh, there might have been a booger there. Give me a second. That bump got me. That blow.
What is it in Ghostbusters where they're getting the goop off? What do they call it?
Slime?
No, is it slime?
Vigo slime.
Oh no, there's another word for it.
Is there booger?
No booger.
Okay.
But there's another word for it. Like when he's scraping the snotty stuff.
Oh,
like
somebody blows their nose and you want a sample.
Spectral. What he says something. It's called something.
Spectral analysis.
God damn it,
The ectoplasm.
Thank you, goddamn cocksucker.
But that's what I don't understand. Like, I'm not gonna be that person that wraps my fucking Randy Macho Man Savage around their throat. I'm just gonna be like, hey, by the way, I don't mean to scare you. I don't mean to like crawl in your bunk bed because I mean you guys are little kids and I don't want to be weird like that. But hey, can you get your parents and tell them like my bones are buried in the backyard and I can kind of get out of here now?
Yeah. It just seems like they're not ghosts anymore. They work in a haunted house and they're actually there just to scare you real quick.
They're actually the Walt Disney World employees that don't get a break.
But bottom line, for me, in a nutshell, this movie, it's not going to please people who are, other than the jump scares, it's not going to please people who are there, who don't give a fuck about the franchise, who just want a really scary movie to go watch. But I think the people who are really into Insidious and the franchise are going to love it. And even if you don't like it right now, I think this is going to be one of those movies that's looked back upon, like later years when people are going through the franchise, they're going to be like, I don't know, man, for some reason I just really love that fucking movie.
Well, what's the guy's name that played the main character in the first two? Big actor.
Not big. Patrick Wilson.
Well, he's not a huge, but I didn't miss Patrick Wilson in this, and his wife, and the whole thing. In this one, it's the Lynn Shay show. I mean, it's all about her. And if anybody that you mentioned the lore wanted to know more about what's her name in the movie, Elise wanted to know about her backstory and where she comes from and what she's all about. This is the movie for you. Now, you also get some comedic effect from Tucker and
they're fucking funny as shit. Tucker and Specs.
Now, they're great, and they definitely add to the background as characters that kind of lighten the mood. I mean, they definitely are, because they're the release valve. And I think I heard a director say one time that the best thing about horror movies is like everybody's on edge anyway. You gotta have that release valve so that people get calmed down, and then you fucking put it in the butt.
Tucker is fucking non-stop funny, dude.
I want to see a Tucker Specs movie.
You'll probably get
just
one.
them.
It'll happen, I'm sure. It'll fucking happen eventually.
Yeah.
And the thing about them is it's not a Jar Jar Binks failed attempt at laughter.
No, it's good.
Like,
it's genuine.
The relationship they have with Elise, they matter so much to her in this movie and in these movies that like the relationship is real. They're not just some bullshit character added for effect that's going to die.
Yeah.
They're a serious part of the franchise.
Well, even to each other, they fuck with each other, but they're like brothers and stuff. And there's a moment where they both are trying to compete for a girl's affection. That's funny as hell. Like that. That's kind of like if Mike and I were trying to. Well, we wouldn't do that, but if we did compete for a girl's affection, like it'd be kind of the same bullshit. Like I can be funny too. I mean, I can be funny if I want to be funny. He's just being funny because you're here. Like it's like that kind of shit. But it was really cool to see it. It's like a brotherly love thing mixed in with everything else, and throwing like comedic effect mixed. Like I said, the first hour and 10 minutes, I was satisfied, boy, and then I get very unsatisfied. By the way, this motherfucker had fucking a million years worth of goddamn trailers. A million fucking
22
years.
minutes
Holy
before the movie
shit.
started. And real quick, I want to mention, as you talk about what you don't like about the ending, if you want to overanalyze, can we like, I just want a segment of the show where it goes, Mike reads too much into shit.
I'm reading too much into you, what you're saying.
I think that this movie does have something to say underneath the surface about...
It's like, don't abuse your dogs.
No, but it does say a lot about, like, there's a little tale in there about, like, demons in the Further and demons in real life.
Well, yeah, they
and overcoming things and being like, I'm not going to add to the hate and shit and pain in this world because I was abused. I'm going to be a light instead of the darkness, the Star Wars, the Force thing. If you look for that, you'll find it in the writing, and I think that was a cool little touch.
How many times did you jack off to the fucking Force idea?
I'm going to cry later.
I want to say this. Yeah, well, you're right. She does even... I mean, it's not even... analogy. She says it.
She's about overcoming abuse.
She says, okay, but she does say at one point in the movie, she does say there's demons in this world that are not from the other side. Because you'll see what we're talking about when you go see the movie. Anyway, a 7.5 for both of us. It's a solid movie. It's a solid entry into the franchise. I had a good time. Mike had a good time. To me, it's a popcorn kind of movie. Mike's thinking there's layers, there's things, there's a message about the Force. I don't know. It's probably The Last Jedi. So, but
I don't have an answer to this because I haven't thought about it enough, but it just cropped up in my old fucking
crop duster,
dumb brain.
Yeah.
Whether you liked it or you didn't, if you've seen it, how many fourth entries in a franchise are better than what you saw in Insidious 4? I mean, I know that there definitely are some. It's not like that great or anything, but there's probably not as many as you would think. If you go and look at the fourth movie in a franchise compared to this, and I think Insidious will come out on top more times than you think.
I think, well, you got Halloween 4.
Obviously. It's better than Scream 4. It's better than Scream 4.
Scream 4, yeah.
It's not better than Jason 4. Final Chapter's a better movie.
Saw 4.
It's better than Saw 4.
Yeah, better than Saw 4. There's a lot
See, you can go into it. It's fun conversation with your friends. Play with your dick. Smack your balls. They say you're a demon, but I don't believe them. Comment on us. Let us know your thoughts. We love your fucking faces. And if you're new to the channel, click that subscribe button. Get some goddamn my baby. That's key.
Fucking bitch. You know what? If you don't subscribe, we'll take your ass to the further.
We watched a movie. We watched a movie. We watched it. We watched a movie. Yeah. You know what? We did a review. We watched a movie. We watched a movie.